Welcome back, everybody. This is Keith Wiggins with PAG Waste Management. We're talking about the Handbook of Biomass Downdraft Gasifier Engine Systems. We're on Chapter 7, talking about gas sampling. So, sampling ports. A temporary or permanent port must be provided at each point on the gasifier where samples are desired, shown in Figure 7.7, such as downstream from the cyclone and before the burner or engine, as well as at each stage along the gas cleanup train when it is desired to determine the effectiveness of each system component. It's important that the gas sample is representative of each gas of, of the gas at each point. The port and tap may need to be heat traced to prevent premature condensation. Permanent sampling ports should be closed off with a gate or ball valves, which provide a straight through passage. Needle valve and sillcock type water valves should be avoided, since much of the material being sampled will deposit within the twisted passages of these types of valves. Uh, the temperature, pressure, and moisture content of gas at the nozzle must be accounted for when designing a sampling train, and measurements should be reduced to standard conditions. For average samples, the test duration should be long enough to average the reading over at least one cycle of the equipment being tested. For instance, the fuel feed cycle, the scrubber service cycle, or the shaking cycle. For snap samples, or where a transient phenomenon is being observed, then the most rapid sampling method and small samples should be used. Let's bump this up a little bit. Hot raw gas emerging from any gasifier will contain char ash, soot, and water vapor, and it is relatively simple to measure these quantities in small sample of raw gas. After the gas has been cleaned and conditioned, the measurements become more difficult. Impurity levels are much lower, so it is necessary to handle much larger gas samples in order to accumulate a measurable size sample. The principles of measurement remain the same, but the measurements require more time to accomplish. The physical analysis of producer gas is based on the weight of char, particulates, and water in a measured quantity of gas. Therefore, a positive displacement gas testing meter, such as those made by Singer Rockwell, American Gas Association, should be available for calibrating flow meters, pumps, and similar components. An analytical balance capable of weighing to zero point 0.1 milligram is also required for accurate measurements of tars and particulates. Approximate results can be obtained by comparing the volume of sample required for a particular depth of color deposit, such as 50% gray measured on a standard gray scale, such as that used for smoke testing. Tests at SERI found that a color of 50% gray on a 47 millimeter filter disc taken from a standard gray scale represented approximately 0.12 to zero point 0.5 milligrams of collected contaminants. A quantity of gas for chemical analysis can be collected at the same time as the sample to be used for physical analysis. Isokinetic sampling. Isokinetic, equal gas velocity conditions in the flow chamber and the sampling tube should be ensured where particle size exceed 10 nanometers. Otherwise, particle size distribution will be the same in the chamber and sampling tube. The design of the sampling tube parts and their placement within the gas streams are shown in future figures, respectively. Figure 710 shows velocity streamlines for a sampling tube in a flow chamber. Part A illustrates isokinetic conditions, that is, the streamlines are equally spaced within the duct and tube. In the B part, sampling tube velocity is less than in the duct, indicated by the wider streaming space in the tube, and proportionally more gas must flow around the tube than through it. However, the inertia of large particles impedes their being carried by the gas that deflects around the tube. Large particles in line with and immediately upstream of the sampling tube continue their flight into the tube. Hence, proportionally more large particles exist in the tube than flow in the chamber. The opposite holds true where tube velocity is greater than the velocity in the chamber, or large particles are underrepresented in the tube. The non-isokinetic sampling errors plotted in 711, we can see that for under 10 nanometer particles, the concentration error is within plus or minus 10% over a wide range of sampling velocity, from a half to double gas velocity for a velocity ratio between 1.5 and 2. In practice, the high-efficiency cyclone separator of a gasifier system will remove most particles larger than 10 nanometers. So for the smaller particles remaining in the gas stream, The error due to non-isokinetic sampling can be ignored. The sampling error for non-isokinetic sampling conditions also can be neglected for tar mists and other very fine aerosols. In fact, the sampling port can serve as a convenient 10 nanometer coarse internal pre-filter. The particle sample probe of Figure 7.9 tends to accumulate impacted large particle deposits and eventually clog, so it should be adjusted to face downstream during periods that is not in use. Here's so the chart as well, we can see. Um, here, Q is the flow rate and D is the diameter. The subscripts N and P refer to nozzle and pipe, respectively. The flow rate of a dirty gas stream can be measured irrespective of temperature and molecular weight of the gas by using a balanced tube, null type apparatus. Such a system, in effect, measures chamber flow of collecting a portion of the gas flow through a sampling tube, cleaning it, and measuring it. The mass flow through the entire chamber is then calculated using the ratio of chamber area to sampling tube area. Measurements are made once the velocity in the sampling tube has been adjusted via a vacuum pump in the system to be equal to that of the flow chamber. Velocities within the tube and chamber are equilibrated using a differential nanometer to balance the static pressures for the tube and chamber. The best placement for the tube within the chamber can be checked by testing the flow of profile across the chamber. The probe should be located where the flow is average for the chamber. Where necessary, flow straighteners should be used to ensure accurate readings. Balanced tube, null type sampling without gas cleanup equipment can be used for clean gas. In 7.5, we were talking about the physical gas composition testing. So for raw gas, sampling train options for measuring the range of levels of tar, char ash, and water, as in Figure 7.12, and gasifier test train components option are presented in following tables. Certain basic procedures must be followed whenever sampling producer gas, to be it for tar, particulates, heat content, etc. So here's the procedures. The gas, being noxious, should either be burned off or returned to the pipe downstream from the sampling point. The gas should be cleaned. The gas should be dried. This figure shows a setup for measuring particulates and tar or moisture or gas composition or gas production rate. And 7.12b is set up for continually measuring change in water content and change in heat content. Can also be used to measure flow and collect moisture, chars, and particulates over measured time. Figure below shows a system train for measuring gas flow at tars and particulates. What is that? 712C. That's 710. I got it. Okay, we're down here. So 712. 712C. So 712A, raw producer gas sampling train for tar, particulates, and moisture. B is continuous readout sampling train for gas quality and moisture. That's for clean gas only. And C is sampling train for collecting condensables without water. The ball valve at the sample port A and C permits changing filter disc without the danger of releasing gas or admitting air. The filter holder in 712A and C must be maintained by electrically heating or locating close to hot gas pipe to keep the filter hot enough above the water dew point, typically 80 degrees centigrade, to avoid water condensation in the filter disc. The desiccant drying section should be constructed so that it can be disconnected for weighing. We have found that an indicating desiccant assembly can be fabricated by containing the desiccant between two glass wool plugs in Tygon or glass U-tubes. Very cool. We might come back and do a little bit more in depth of these collection measures. The desiccant container should be sealed for transport and weighing. Raw gas moisture measurement is essential to mass balance calculations. Finally, where volume is measured, in A and C, means must be provided to pull a known quantity of gas through this train. Handheld positive displacement vacuum pumps are made by a number of suppliers. We also have used a handheld rubber aspirator bulb and found that 70 strokes collected about 3 liters of gas. We've also used a Dwyer smoke test pump. The gas meter is required only for initially calibrating the sampling train and pump, since counting strokes yields adequate precision for measuring gas test volume. A decision on the amount of gas to be sampled should be based on the anticipated impurities in the gas and the contaminant sample quality required for the specific analysis methods available. For instance, 50% grayscale analysis requires zero point 0.5 milligram sample on a 47 millimeter filter disc. Weighed samples require a 5 to 30 milligram sample size for analytical balances within a zero point 0.1 milligram readability. So if we talk about clean gas, if a gas is cleaned sufficiently for engine use, it will be necessary to pass a much larger sample, usually 1 cubic meter, through the filter. A mechanical pump capable of pulling a moderate vacuum, such as motor-driven vacuum pump or a calibrated air sample pump, is recommended. The positive displacement meter can also be located within the collection train between the pump and the gas return if the system pressure is close to atmospheric pressure. It is imperative to protect the pump and meter with a large absolute filter because any tar or particulates entering the pump or meter will rapidly affect their performance. So chemical gas composition. The gas composition can be measured either continuously, like online, or through discrete samples taken periodically from the gas stream. These methods will be discussed separately. Before the gas is analyzed, it must be drawn from the system and cleaned of tar and particulate contaminants as described previously. Batch sampling requires collecting a sample of gas in a suitable container, like a glass cylinder, metal cylinder, Tedler gas sample bag, or syringe, as shown in a figure 713. The subsequent analysis is only as good as the sample, and it is easy for gas leaks to spoil a sample after it has been taken. Therefore, it is important to use extra care to avoid leaks either into the sampling train while the sample is being taken or out of the sample bulb before the analysis is made. When possible, the sample cylinder should be evacuated or alternatively should be very thoroughly flushed. The cylinder should be filled to at least a small positive pressure from the pump so that air cannot leak in before analysis. A positive pressure sample can be collected without a pump by chilling the cylinder before the gas is taken so that a positive pressure develops as the gas in the cylinder warms to room temperature. Gas samples should be drawn from a point as close to as practical to the gasifier outlet in order to avoid errors due to air leaks in the gasifier piping. Usually, any oxygen found in the gas can be attributed to air leaks since oxygen is completely removed in the gasifier. When oxygen is found in the gas, the composition can be converted to an air-free basis by subtracting oxygen and the corresponding ratio of nitrogen. It gives a little formula there. Some gas sample containers, as shown in 713, a rubber septum is a desirable feature that permits one to extract the gas sample with a hypodermic syringe for injection into a gas chromatograph without opening the stock pipes. The hypodermic syringe for injecting samples into the gas chromatograph should have a valve at the needle that can be closed between filling the syringe and analysis. Valve syringes are available as accessories from gas chromatograph manufacturers. The metal cylinder in Figure 713 can contain at a much higher pressure than the gas system. It is important to use leak-proof valves rather than needle valves in this container to avoid stopcock grease, which has a high hydrogen solubility. A syringe also can be used to collect a gas sample. If standard gas sample containers are unavailable, gas samples can be collected in glass bottles by water displacement, inserting the stopper while the bottle is submerged, and sealing by dripping the stoppered opening in paraffin. Whichever container is used, the sample should be tested as soon as possible since hydrogen can rapidly diffuse through rubber seals and stopcocks. thereby changing the gas composition in a few hours. Next time, we'll talk about methods of analysis. Thank you very much. We'll talk to you later.